Hello students, welcome to YourPedia. This is your faculty Sushant Kumar for Andhra Pradesh State Pollution Control Board exam for air pollution and solid waste management. So I am going here to discuss a very important topic for your assistant environmental engineer, the vacancy which is going to be notified soon. So we are going to discuss in this video a very important topic known as soil pollution. So all the students of Andhra Pradesh State Pollution Control Board assistant environmental engineering preparation exams, all the students who are preparing for this exam or who are going to start the preparation for this exam, you can buy or you can purchase your module on YourPedia website for this exam, because YourPedia deals in a pollution control board exam and it is a very best platform for pollution control board exam in all over India. So in this video we are going to basically discuss about soil pollution, how is soil pollution, what is soil pollution, and soil pollution responsibilities, or how we will control soil pollution, what is the impact of soil pollution on our environment, because as you know the vacancy is for assistant environmental engineer. So we are going to discuss about same. For that exam, what can be questions and what are the theory portions. So watch this video till end. You will get a very good idea about how to deal with soil pollution for like this kind of exam. So here, starting with, as you can see, soil pollution we are going to discuss here. Basically, sir, what is meaning of soil pollution? Soil pollution, if you have to understand in a very easy way, it is basically how is our soil getting polluted. Basically, we have to see how is our soil getting polluted and what is the impact of that pollution on our human being. So always remember, when we are studying about anything related to pollution, there are two things. One is your population, one is your pollution. We will say about two pieces. One is pollution, one is your population. Pollution means the different types of pollution created by human or natural activities. Means, see, when we are eating, when we are doing anything, after that there will be remaining of some portion. Like, see, you are eating like you are eating chapati, you are eating rice, you will what you will do, leftover rice is there, you will throw it. That is basically a waste. That waste can go anywhere and it can pollute anything. So basically here also for pollution and population, see, population have generated pollution. Always remember, earlier when in 1900 or you can drink the water directly from river. Why? Because there was no pollution. But if today I will say to go and drink water from any river, you will not drink because it is polluted. So same like that, due to different human or natural activities, our soil has also become polluted. Like, see, you are using urea, you are using potash, you are using different types of chemicals to get more yield. And where is that chemical going? That chemicals are going in your soil and it is degrading your soil. Different kinds of pollution is going in our soil and it is polluting in our soil. So we are going to discuss about that soil pollution in this lecture. Okay, so we are going to start the lecture. Soil pollution for Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board. There will be theory portion also, there will be questions also in this topic. Okay, so as we can see, first we will go with syllabus, because in your syllabus there is mentioned pollution, air, water, soil and noise, and what are the control technologies. Means they are going to ask you questions from these topics here. They have mentioned these topics here and they are going to ask you the question from this. So my part here will be now in this video will be soil pollution. In further videos I will come with more lectures of air pollution or noise pollution. I will further come up with more lectures. So here you can see, if I will talk about soil pollution topic only, soil pollution, sources and types, impact of modern agriculture, degradation of soil. Basically they have divided whole soil pollution in 3 points. One is your what is soil pollution, what are the sources and what are the types, what is the impact of modern agriculture, means the modernization which we are taking in our agriculture, what is the impact of that modernization on pollution, and third is your degradation of soil. How is soil getting degraded? Because we are using different types of chemical, due to that chemical our soil are getting what? Degraded. Okay, so we are going to start our lecture. So moving further, see, how much topics are there in basically soil pollution, which topics will be covered throughout this lecture series, how much topics are there. First topic is your introduction and soil composition, means what is soil. Soil is basically the topmost layer of your earth crust, which is made up of different types of three phases are there. Like soil is made up of our solid, in that inorganic or organic matter is there. Second phase is your liquid, third is your what, gaseous phase. So what is introduction and what is the composition of soil. Second is your sources of soil pollution. Third is your types of soil pollutants like lead, cadmium. There are different types of soil pollution, what is their impact. Fourth is your fate and transport of pollutants. Next is your effect on environment, soil quality standards, what are the remediation technologies, what Indian regulatory framework like EPA, Environmental Protection Act, State Pollution Control Board, what are they saying, how we can reduce soil pollution, how we can control soil pollution frameworks. Next is your pollution indices and quantification. After that, previous year questions, and after that there is your quick revision. So in this video, first three topics we are going to discuss in this video. Always remember, in this video what we are going to do, in this video we are going to discuss about first three topics of your soil pollution. So without wasting a time, I am going to start your lecture from here. Okay, moving on, soil pollution, chapter 1, introduction and soil pollution. See, what is soil? Now only I told you na, soil is the uppermost layer. What? Soil is the uppermost layer of the earth crust formed by weathering. How is soil formed, sir? Soil is basically formed by weathering. After weathering, there are different agencies, they have transferred the weather material from one place to other. After that, after many times, means after so much of years, due to deposition, it is converted into soil. So soil is the uppermost layer of earth crust formed by weathering of rocks and decomposition of organic matter. Soil is a complex, dynamic three-phase system. Always remember, soil is a basically three-phase system. Sir, can it exist in two-phase also? Yes, possibility is there. If soil is fully dry, if soil is fully saturated, it can exist in two-phase system also. So it is a complex, dynamic three-phase system consisting of solid, mineral, organic matter. I told you na, three-phase system means there is one phase of solid, another is your liquid. In solid, it can be inorganic or organic also. After that, third is your gaseous. So soil, mineral, organic matter, liquid means soil, water or solution, and gas means soil, air. Soil supports plant growth, regulate water flow, filter pollutants and sustains biodiversity. What is meaning of, sir, pedosphere? Basically pedosphere is the zone of interaction between lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. Pedosphere means basically it is a zone of attraction between what? Atmosphere, your lithosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. And if they will ask you any question, sir, what is basically the meaning of study of soil called? If they will ask you what is the study of soil called, then you will tell them pedology. Pedology is the basically study of soil. So study of soil is known as pedology. Okay, moving on to next. Composition of soil, ideal agricultural soil means ideal soil, because we will compare the soil from any ideal point. Always comparison is going to be done from any ideal point. So ideal soil composition. First is your mineral matter, percentage by volume we are talking about. Remember, we are talking about percentage by volume. For mineral matter, how much percentage by volume? If your volume is 100, so percentage by volume is 45. Means in your soil 45% will be mineral matter. So like minerals like, sir, nitrogen, phosphorus, they are minerals basically. Organic matter, humus. Organic matter is what? Organic matter is basically decomposed material of plant and animals. In your soil, dark color material will be there, which is known as humus, which is basically decomposed matter of what? Decomposed matter of your plant and animals. Next is your soil water, that is 25%, and next is your soil air, that is 25%. Sir, why soil water and soil air? Because now only I have told you soil is a three-phase system. Because if you will say, sir, soil can be one phase, no, because in soil there should be some voids. If voids are not there, it is rock, my friend, it is not soil. So there can be water or there can be air. So if I will talk about ideal soil, 25% water and 25% air will be composition. Role, see, mineral matter, I told you na, provide nutrients like your K, calcium, potassium, magnesium, iron, manganese. These are the mineral matter. These are the basically nutrients what your plant can take from the soil. These are basically nutrients because these are required. Next, you can see what is organic matter. Whole nutrients, water, improve structure. Organic matter also, see, if it is decomposed from aerobic decomposition, the end product is having potassium, like end product is having different kinds of nitrogen, like end product is having different nutrients. So that is also important. Second, we can say soil water medium for nutrient transport. Basically soil water is what? It is basically a medium from where nutrient can transport. If we will talk about soil air is basically for respiration. If in voids air will be not there, if sufficient oxygen will be not supplied to the roots, then there will be fully growth of roots not possible. So there will be fully growth of roots not possible. So what is the use of soil air? O2, oxygen transport for roots, microbial respiration and CO2 release. So void should not be always filled with water. There should be some voids in which air should be present. So if you have seen, if you will keep your field always saturated, yeah, always like flooding like conditions, see, you will not see the full growth of plant because the air supply will be restricted and plant growth will be not fully possible. So there should be air also. Like exam tip is also there. Most competitive exam ask about ideal soil composition. So always remember, ideal soil composition is 45:5:25:25. Mineral, organic, water and air. Moving further, students, we will talk about many more things like what is soil pollution basically. So read. Soil pollution, also called as soil contamination, is defined as the presence of, see, anything will be when called as pollution when its impact will be on human beings more than when it is in natural condition. Like see, when you are saying air is polluted, see, when there are so much contaminants in the air at such a further level, when that interaction with human is getting devastating, means it is getting destructive, means our body is getting destructive with that, our body is not able to adapt that, then we are saying it is a pollution. Same thing, when will be soil called polluted? When there will be certain level of material or metals in that soil which level will be excessive, which cannot be tolerated. So you can say soil pollution is also called as soil contamination, is defined as the presence of toxic chemical, heavy metal, pesticides, industrial effluent, radioactive substance or biological agents in the soil at concentration exceeding background level. See, if in your soil 1 gram of heavy metals is there, but somewhere the concentration permissible limit is 10, sir, will you call it as pollution? No. See, pollution when it will be called when the levels of these all things will be exceeding, so it is putting adverse effect on our human. Then we will see, like I am talking with you, sir, will you call this noise pollution? No. I will call this as noise pollution when I will be shouting, so that in your ears that will have an adverse effect on your health. So same thing is there. Soil is called polluted when toxic chemicals, heavy metal, pesticides, industrial effluent, radioactive substance or biological agents in soil at concentration exceeding background levels, causing adverse effect on what? Causing adverse effect on living organisms, groundwater and the environment. When it will be start causing adverse effect on these things, then if the concentration of that above written things are above exceeding level, then we will call soil as polluted. WHO definition: any alteration in soil physical, chemical or biological properties that harm living organism and reduces its ecological and productive capacity, then it will be called as soil pollution. I hope you have understood what is the composition of soil, you have understood what is soil pollution. Moving further, difference soil contamination versus soil pollution. What is the difference? Understand one thing, contamination is a different thing, pollution is a different thing. See, concentration, when we will talk about first parameter, our first parameter is concentration. Soil contamination, above background, below threshold. See, soil contamination, you will tell water is contaminated, means something is there in water, but it is below threshold. It is below threshold. Something is there, but it is below threshold. In soil also, concentration parameter, above background, but what? It is below threshold. It is above background, but it is below threshold. Soil pollution, it is above threshold and harmful impacts are observed. Means the thing is above threshold and there is also harmful impacts. Effect, may not harm organisms, means soil is contaminated but it is not harming any organism, but here cause measurable harm. Like see, you are using so much of urea on your field. From urea, nitrogen can leach out and it can go to groundwater. If that groundwater is used by nearby people, there can be different types of diseases. Like you have always heard blue baby syndrome or methemoglobinemia due to nitrogen or due to excessive nitrogen in groundwater. Why it is happening? Because the concentration is exceeding so much that it is causing a measurable impact on human beings. But if contamination is there, it does not mean it will cause impact. But if you will tell it as a pollution, it is causing impact. Moving further, example, slight increase in PB near road, like slight increase in lead. Heavy PV deposition near smelter. See, heavy PV deposition means heavy lead is deposition near smelter, where smelting is going on, there heavy deposition of lead is there. See, I will tell you one example. See, when like see in battery management, when you will study now, there will be, if informal ways of battery management, in battery there is a harmful chemical known as lead. In somewhere near Rajasthan, where informal way of battery recycling was going on, they have collected a blood sample of many people from there, and in that sample the lead level was more than excess. Because why? Because there was a pollution of lead or battery related pollution was there. Contamination means somewhat concentration but not measurable impact. Remediation may not need immediate action, means immediate action is not required. Here immediate action is required. See, something is contaminated, you will say, we can see. If we have not reached any limit, then we can delay it, means we can delay it. What? We can delay it immediate action, but in pollution case you cannot delay that. You have to immediately act on that and make it clear. Okay, moving further. Soil profile horizon, always remember in soil profile horizon, O horizon, A horizon, B, C and R horizon. I have taken image also here. You can see O horizon is this upper topmost, after that comes A horizon, topmost soil. O horizon is basically organic and there comes a B horizon. So we are talking about these horizons or these different layers in the soil, these different layers in the soil. See, O horizon basically what? Organic. Leaf litter humus means here at what? Leaf litter means your leaves litter. Second is your humus. I have told you dark organic matter of your decomposed plants or animals. Pesticides accumulates here. What? Your pesticides basically accumulates in the O horizon, means O horizon is basically what? Organic. A horizon means topsoil, the topmost layer. Humus rich, because in topmost layer you will get most of the humus like nutrients, humus like compounds. Biologically active, because why? Because humus is basically a organic matter, so it is biologically active because there will be some kinds of microorganism present there. Most affected by pollution, this layer is mostly, because most of the pollutants will accumulate in this layer only. B horizon subsoil means below topsoil is your subsoil. It is known as elevation zone. Leached pollutant deposit here means the pollutant which are leached due to water or due to any other factors, means a pollutant like nitrogen is leached from your urea, so it will go to where? Subsoil. Possibility it can also go to groundwater also, so leached pollutant can be found there. C horizon is your regolith. C horizon is basically what? Regolith. Partially weathered rock, groundwater contamination risk. So in regolith is what? Any pollutant if it goes there, then it will be risk of groundwater contamination. So you can see in Andhra, if you have read anywhere, there are different places where groundwater is contaminated with heavy metals like arsenic or different. Why it is happening? Because the pollutant is leached out and it have reached the groundwater level. R horizon is your bedrock. Unweathered parent rock means basically up to now in R horizon no weathering has taken place. In R horizon no weathering has taken place, so R horizon is known as bedrock. Regolith where C horizon, chances of groundwater contamination is there. So moving further, exam focus can be pollution primarily affect A and B horizon, leaching through B horizon contaminates groundwater. This is frequently tested concept. So always remember, pollution primarily affects A and B horizon, because see, A and B horizon, topsoil and subsoil, these are the two horizons which is primarily affected by the soil pollution. I hope you have understood these lines. Moving further, you can see the images also. These are leaf litters. These are leaf litter humus. This is topsoil where roots are present. See, in topsoil is what? Roots are present. B is your subsoil horizon. Okay, we will move further. See, this was your first chapter. So we are here, we have completed our first chapter. In first chapter we have seen the composition, we have seen what is soil pollution, what can be the soil pollution, how they are defined, we have seen different horizons. So we have studied about these things in first chapter. You have any doubt, you can ask in comment section, it will be always available for you. If you want this PDF also, you can comment in comment section. I will try to provide you the PDF also, because it will be very useful for all the exams of environmental pollution control boards or state pollution control boards or central pollution control board, because there are very much chances that more further vacancies are going to come. So all the students, those who are watching this video, you can comment down how you like the video, and you can ask for PDF also. Moving further, we will see second, sources of soil pollution. What are the different sources of soil pollution? First is your classification of sources. We will move with classification of sources. First is your point sources. Point sources meanings any identifiable localized sources of pollution from specific locations. Means always remember point sources are identifiable or localized. Like a industrial unit is there, from there pollution is created, that is a point source. Like a tannery is there, from a tannery, leather tannery is there, from there a pollution is creating, that is a point source. So point source means point sources are identifiable localized sources of pollution from specific locations. See, they can ask you related to one thing also, anthropogenic or natural sources. Anthropogenic means man-made sources, like industrial, tannery, these are anthropogenic. Natural sources means like volcanic ash, these are natural things. Understood? So they can ask you from there also. Anthropogenic, always remember, these are man-made things, and natural means generally due to different activities in nature if it is getting polluted. So point sources are identifiable localized sources like industrial effluents and solid waste, these are point source. Tanneries, electroplating, they were cadmium, nickel, zinc is used, textile dyeing. Mining and quarrying, where acid, mine drainage, AMD, heavy metals leach into soil, tailing piles. Sewage sludge applications, here also it is a point source. Leaking underground storage, it is also basically what? It is also basically point source. Landfill and dump sites, where leachate is going to pollute your soil, it is also a basically what? Point source. Chemical spills and accident is also a basically what? It is also a basically point source. So chemical spills and accident is also a point source, like Bhopal gas tragedy, MIC, methyl isocyanide, Vizag LG polymer styrene spill, you can remember it is in Andhra Pradesh only, Vizag LG polymer styrene spill. Non-point sources, diffuse sources. Basically non-point sources are widespread and lack a specific point, like agricultural activity. You can't say agriculture activity is a specific point, there is a widespread, from anywhere it can come. So agricultural activity comes in what? Non-point source. You can read here also, over application of synthetic fertilizers like nitrogen, phosphate, pesticides like DDT, BSCs, endosulfan, irrigation with wastewater, like DDT is basically a pesticide, DDT is present in a pesticide, dichloro, diphenyl trichloroethane is basically what? DDT is basically what? DDT, dichloro, diphenyl trichloroethane is known as DDT. Atmospheric deposition, dry or wet, like acid rains, NOx from industries, vehicle depositing on soil, heavy metals from smelters. Urban runoff, storm water carrying oil and heavy metal, this is also one of the case. Improper waste disposal, if you are not disposing the waste properly, it can also lead to soil pollution. Next is your radioactive fallout, like nuclear testing accidents, like you will remember Chernobyl, Fukushima, these are all the can be told as non-point source due to that, because there are different types of soil pollution happened. These are your non-point source, these are your point source. If he will ask you about anthropogenic means man-made, it's not natural basically, he can ask you that also. Okay. Agricultural sources is the important one, so we have to discuss this in detail. So detailed analysis when you will talk about agricultural sources. First is your chemical fertilizers. Excessive use of chemical fertilizers lead to, first is your nitrogenous, means nitrogenous fertilizer type like urea, DAP. These are all what? These are all nitrogenous type. What is the pollutant release? Always remember, pollutant release, you know, nitrates, NO3 minus and ammonia, NH4 plus. So they can ask you a question, what is the main source of ammonia? Main source of ammonia release, you have to know that urea or DAPs. What is that? Urea or DAPs. Next is your phosphatic, SSPs and TSPs. Single superphosphate, this is known as SSPs. So next is your what? Phosphatic, SSPs and TSPs. SSP and TSP, main pollutant release is your cadmium, impurity in rock phosphate. So main pollutant is what? Basically here release is cadmium, which is also known as CD. He can ask you cadmium short name. You can remember cadmium short name is also what? CD. Moving further, soil effect. See, for if you will talk about nitrogenous, soil effect is soil acidification, nitrate leaching to groundwater. Means main soil effect is what? Soil can become acidic. Means the pH level of soil will be decreased. pH level of soil will be decreased, your soil will be more acidic. He can ask you in two ways. So soil acidification will happen and nitrate will leach to groundwater. If nitrate will leach to groundwater and if that groundwater is consumed by people, there can be a disease known as methemoglobinemia or blue baby syndrome. You can remember that also. If you will talk about phosphatic, SSP and TSP, cadmium accumulation, soil acidification. If you will ask about potassic, sir, potassic is MOP, muriate of potash. Basically, if you will talk about potassic, what is MOP? MOP is what, sir? MOP is muriate of potash. It is also a different types of fertilizer type which is used in your soil for making the yield good. Because see, why this has happened? Because what happened? Due to pollution, our soil have a deficiency of different nutrients. So externally, see, these all are nutrients, nitrogen, potassium, potash, these all are nutrients. So due to different pollution, or you can see due to different atmospheric condition, our soil is getting degraded. So degradation of soil is leading to a deficiency of nutrients in soil. So we have to use this all. So our soil can give a good yield, but these are having a very bad impact, because in long term if we will see, these are creating a very bad impact. So in India you have read very much about, there are many researches going on, what are the different pollution creating on our health impacts. So these are all the impacts because of these things only. So potassic MOP, muriate of potash, SOP. So chloride, Cl minus accumulation, always remember they are going to ask you about these questions. What is MOP related to? MOP is related to chloride accumulation. What it will do? Soil salinization at excess doses. If excess dose is going, then soil can become salinate. Soil can become, salinity of soil can increase. Here what will happen? Soil salinization can happen here. Okay, moving further. Next is your mixed NPK, means nitrogen, potassium and phosphate. So this is your mixed NPK. Mixed NPK is basically what? Multiple micronutrient imbalance. If in your soil there is a multiple micronutrient imbalance is there, you can use mixed NPK. Antagonism between what? Zinc, iron and manganese. What it can create? Antagonism between what? Antagonism between zinc, iron and magnesium can be impact of this or soil effect of this. So I hope you have understood this, because they can ask you a very important question. They can ask you the match the following also. They can ask you different lines from here. So always remember, if they will ask anything, we have read all the things, we can answer. Moving further. Pesticides in soil, if we will talk about, pesticides are classified by their persistence in the soil. What are pesticides? Pesticides are classified by their persistence in the soil. Like pesticides means categories. Organochlorides. Organochlorides is very persistent. Very persistent means it cannot be disappear directly from in your environment. It will be remain in your environment for a very longer time. It is one of the very persistent. How much time? Sir, its time is 10 to 30 years. Always remember, they can ask you. What are the examples? Like I told you, DDT, BSC, linden, aldrin, dialdrin, endosulfan. These are all the examples of organochlorides. I have told you recently only DDT. I have told you the full form also. Concern is what? Bioaccumulation and carcinogenity, means it will what will be the concern here? Bioaccumulation can happen here, and secondly it is the carcinogenity. Carcinogenetic means any compound which are possibility to cause cancer are known as basically carcinogenic, means if human exposure is so much with this, cancer can be caused. So it is known as carcinogenity. Second is your organophosphates. First is your, remember, organochlorides. Second is your organophosphates. It is moderately persistent, means not very high, it is moderately persistent. Like example, malathion, chloropyrophos, parathion. These are the basically examples: malathion, chloropyrophos and parathion. Concern is your clonisterase inhibition, soil fauna toxicity, means soil fauna can be toxic, and say first is your what? Clonisterase and inhibition can happen. Okay, moving to next, carbamates. Carbamates is very less persistent. They can ask you which of the following is very less persistent from the all. Always remember, carbamates are the less persistent one. Carbamates less persistent. Example they can ask you: carbaryl or carbofuran. Carbaryl or carbofuran are the two examples here. What are the effect? Soil effect: toxic to soil, invertebrates. So toxic to soil, invertebrates. It is basically a toxic to the soil. Next is your pyrethroids. Pyrethroids is basically what? Persistent level, if you will check, it is moderate. Example, cypermethrin, yeah, delta methrin. So example is your cypermethrin or delta methrin. So basically always remember, they can ask you example also. What are the example of pyrethroids? How much is the persistent level? So it is the moderately persistent. So cypermethrin or delta methrin. Toxic to soil dwelling organisms. So basically it is toxic to what? Soil dwelling organisms. It is toxic to them. Next is your herbicides. It is basically variable. Example is your atrazine, simazine, 2,4-D. Soil microbe disruption means soil microbiome disruption, means it will disrupt the soil microbiome. Biome basically you have studied in environment, it can disrupt the soil microbiome, destruction can happen. Moving further, key exam fact we can see, as I told you, DDT is what? Dichloro diphenyl trichloroethanol is banned under what convention? They can ask you. Is banned under Stockholm Convention on POPs, persistent organic pollutant, because these are not going to remove from your atmosphere for a very long time. So these are what? POPs, persistent organic pollutants. India banned DDT for agricultural use in 1989, but still permits limited use for malaria vector control. But if you will talk about in India, DDT is banned in 1989, but still also some use is also there, but in pesticides it is banned in 1989. So moving further, industrial source sector wise contaminations. Like tanneries, from tanneries, primary soil contaminants is what? Chromium, Cr6 plus, hexavalent. Always remember, they can ask you hexavalent is which? Chromium. It is carcinogenic. Like Cr6, what is IS Indian standard or WHO standard? Is 0.1 mg per kg for residential soil. Next is your smelters or in metal industries where smelting is going on. There what will be there? Lead, cadmium and arsenic. From smelter industries you can see what will be there? Lead will be there, cadmium will be there and arsenic will be there. What is your IS or WHO standard? 70 mg per kg. For cadmium it is 3 mg per kg. Environmental Protection Act you can see. Textile and dyeing, azo dyes, heavy metal, Cu, zinc, chromium. For oil refineries you can see total petroleum hydrocarbon, TPH or BTEX. For pesticide manufacturing you can see organochlorines and organophosphates. After coal power plant you can see fly ash. What is there in fly ash? Arsenic will be there, Se will be there, B will be there. Okay. Electroplating industries you can see nickel, cadmium, zinc. These all are going to pollute your soil. So we are studying about industrial pollutions also which can going to pollute your soil. What will be nickel? Limit 50 mg per kg, cadmium is 3 mg. Fertilizer plants you can see fluorides or physogypsum. Fluorides if you will limit see 150 mg per kg. These are the different types of pollutant you have seen here. So in this chapter if you will see, from here we have started this chapter. From here we have started this chapter. In this chapter what we have studied? We have studied about the sources of soil pollution. I will tell you one more question. anthropogenic and man-made, anthropogenic and natural, always remember they will ask every time. They are going to ask you one question: what is point source, what is non-point source. They are going to ask from here also. Agricultural sources, they are going to ask from here. Pesticides, very important, they are going to ask basically what are the DDT, which convention for persistent organic pollutant, which convention is there. Industrial sources, they are going to ask. So I hope you have understood this. Now moving on to next chapter, this is known as chapter 3, which is type of soil pollutant. This is chapter 3, which is types of soil pollutant. I hope you have understood up to here, because here we have basically dealt with, deal with basic things. Now we are going to take this to an advanced level, so you can solve more number of questions, my friend. I hope you are understanding this lecture very well. So we will move further. Chapter 3 is your type of soil pollutant. So first is basically classification of soil pollutant. Always remember, they are going to ask. If I will classify, how is classification? Organic, inorganic, biological, these are the classifications. If I will talk about inorganic, heavy metals, these are basically inorganic compounds. These are basically inorganic compounds, means there is no presence of organic in this. Heavy metals means your lead, cadmium, mercury, arsenic, your chromium, copper, zinc, nickel, these are all your heavy metals. Inorganic, second is your salts and ions. There are different types of ions like nitrates ion, nitrites ion, phosphates ion, fluorides ion, chlorides, sulfates, these are all salts and ions. Next is your inorganic, means radioactive isotopes like CS137, SR90, iodine 131, Ra226, uranium 238. These are all examples of what? Inorganic radioactive isotopes. Organic, next is your pesticides. Organic class: DDT, BSC, Eldrin, Malthion, Atrazine. These are all what? These are basically your organic. Organic, next is your polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, naphthalene, benzo alpha pyrene, basically anthracene. This is also very much asked in air pollution also. BAPs, benzo alpha pyrene, what is this? Next is your organic. Organic is your PCBs, polycyclic biphenyls like aerocolors, dioxin and furan. These are basically organic type. Next is your organic petroleum hydrocarbons, which is generated from petroleum industries. BTEX, aliphatic hydrocarbons. There are two types of hydrocarbons, polyaromatic and polyaliphatic. So these are your aliphatic hydrocarbons. Biological is what? Pathogens. Biological, basically I told you na, three categories: organic, inorganic, biological, like E. coli, Salmonella, like bacteria, E. coli, salmonella, your viruses, helminths, these are your biological. Next is your mixed. Mixed means basically sewage sludge / leachate, because in that there will be all mixing. Inorganic is also there, heavy metals is also there, organics is also there, biological is also there, like combination of heavy metal, organic plus pathogen. This is like your sludge, your leachate from your landfills. When you will see now, from your landfills leachate will be generated. In that leachate, heavy metal is also very much, organic compounds are also there. In that your pathogens are also present there. So these are the examples of mixed type of soil or mixed type of class. Heavy metal pollutant detailed study, because he will ask you very much question from here. If I will see, heavy metals are what? Heavy metals are metallic with atomic density. He will ask you first question. Always remember, heavy metals are metallic elements when density will be what? Atomic density will be greater than 5 gram per centimeter cube, or atomic number is greater than 20. They are non-biodegradable. Always remember, heavy metals are non-biodegradable, persistent and bioaccumulate in the food chains, means it will be biologically accumulated in your food chains. So heavy metals, when we will say heavy metals are metallic elements when atomic density is greater than 5 gram per centimeter cube. Always remember, heavy metal CAMHAZN. It is always cadmium, arsenic. C means cadmium, A means arsenic, M means mercury, H means high lead, Pb, antimony, zinc, nickel. The priority metals in contaminated soil. These are the priority metals which are mostly seen in any contaminated soil. Okay, now we can move further. We can see more things. First example, lead we will see. Attribute. Sources is what? Leaded petrol, phased out paint, battery manufacturing, smelters, shooting ranges. I will tell you some important thing from here. Forms in the soil: Pb2 plus PbSO4 when combines with sulfur. Next is your PBS, strongly absorbed by soil organic matter. Toxicity, always remember, lead is a very toxic compound. It will directly affect your nervous system. So always when he will ask you about lead na, always relate it with a nervous system, and mostly if it is infant, if it is small child, if it has come in contact with lead, then there is very much problem. It will not allow their nervous system to grow. See, neurotoxic, basically child are very much vulnerable to your lead. Inhibit enzyme activities, causes anemia. Health effects, encephalopathy, learning disabilities, kidney damage, hypertension. WHO soil standard 70 mg per kg for residential, 400 per mkg for industrial. Indian context, high PB near battery smelters in UP, Rajasthan, Bihar. I told you na, where batteries are going to recycle in an informal sector, there they have seen lead level in the humans are very high. I will move further with next pollutant. Cadmium, always remember the most important thing, he can ask you 2 to 3 things from here. First is from where it is generated, phosphatic fertilizer, it not from potassic. Always remember it is from phosphatic fertilizer. Rock phosphate impurity, electroplating, NiCd batteries. Form in soil, in which form it will be available? Basically CD2 plus ionic form, also as CdCO3 or CdCs. Mobility high, more mobile than PB, leaches in groundwater taken up by plants. Toxicity, always remember eta disease is always related to cadmium. He will ask you very much time. Eta disease, Minamata disease, these are also as Minamata is related to mercury, eta is related to cadmium. Eta disease means what will happen? Bone decalcification plus renal tubular dysfunction will happen in this. Moving further, health effects, kidney damage, bone softening, lung damage. WHO EPA standard 3 mg per kg agricultural soil, 85 mg per kg industrial. Critical for exam, remember I told you na, eta diseases 1950 Tayoma prefecture Japan, caused by CD contamination of rice field from Jinzu river. So this is known from eta disease, always remember from cadmium. Moving further, mercury related, he will always ask you one thing, Minamata, always remember. I will read for you everything, but the main important thing I am going to discuss, because mostly it will asked in your question, it is your Minamata disease. Sources, chloralkali plant, thermometers, dental amalgams, artisanal golds, mining, coal combustion. From these all things your mercury will be released and it can go and mix with your soil, can pollute your soil. Which form it will be? Elemental form HGO, inorganic form Hg2 plus, organic methyl mercury CS3 Hd2 plus. Methylation, soil sediment bacteria sulfate reducing convert Hd2 plus to CS3 Hg plus. WHO standard, health effect I have told you, Minamata disease. WHO standard is 0.3 mg per kg residential soil. Bioaccumulation, high BCF, matlab bio concentration factor is very much high in aquatic food chains. Arsenic, basically remember sources, pesticide lead arsenate, forms in soil AS5, arsenate stable less mobile, AS3 arsenide more toxic. Moving further, health effects, arsenicosis is the main health effect. Indian context, Bengal basin, geogenic as contamination in groundwater plus soil, West Bengal, Bihar and Jharkhand, in there you will watch arsenic contamination is very much. Chromium, tannery effluent, it is mostly generated from tannery, primary source, electroplating and steel industries. Your form is Cr3 plus, Cr6 plus also, because it will be converted in hexavalent Cr6. Indian context, Kanpur tannery belt, it will have so much of so much of chromium. You have seen in recent one video also, they have made for Kanpur tannery factory. It is very horrible. You can see what are the things there. What are the impact? Lung cancer, skin ulcers, toxicity, this is your impact. Coming on to organic pollutant, POPs, persistent organic pollutants. Stockholm Convention, if you will read, international treaty to eliminate POPs known as dirty dozen. 12 original POPs include, means there are 12 original POPs: aldrin, dialdrin, andrin, chlorodane, heptachlor, hexachlorobenzene, Mirex, toxaphene, PCBs, polycyclic biphenyls, DDT, dioxin and furans. These are the 12 deadly POPs, means they have considered it as deadly POPs. India ratified in 2006. So if they will ask you question related to Stockholm Convention, it is related to what? It is related to persistent organic pollutants. Moving further, see POP, DDT is log, KOW is how much? 6.9, high-low lipophilic. Soil half-life is how much? How much time it will be there in soil? 10 to 30 years. Primary concern, biomagnification, top predator, 1000 into concentration. Second is your polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs. 209 congeners, highly stable, because here is what? Key properties. How much? Soil half-life? Decades. Endocrine disruption, carcinogenic. Dioxins, I have told you recently, most toxic compound, 2378 TCDD. They will not ask you these full forms much, so need not to remember these, but they can ask you different what are the names, so always you have to remember this. 50%, 50 plus years, carcinogenic, immune disruption. pH, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, I have told you, SCBs, hexachlorobenzenes are there. Petroleum hydrocarbon, PSCs are also there, like petroleum hydrocarbon, BTEX, benzene, toluene, ethyl benzene or xylene. This is all combinedly known as BTEX. Key property is volatile and water soluble. Rapid volatilization, benzene is group 1 carcinogen. This is your petroleum hydrocarbon, PSCs. Moving further, aliphatics, alkane C5, C35, variable volatility, biodegradable by hydrocarbon degrading bacteria. pH, naphthalene, pyrene, benzoalpha pyrene, low solubility, absorbed strongly by soil organic matter, persistent, mutagenic, carcinogenic. TPH, total pollutant hydrocarbon mixture measured by regulatory parameter. Next is your radioactive pollutants also. If they will ask you, we have prepared everything for you. Radioactive soil contamination arises from nuclear weapons, testing, nuclear accidents, uranium thorium mining. See, like you have seen in Jharkhand, one place is there where uranium mining is going on. There you can see soil is very much polluted, water is very much polluted, because these are one of the deadliest pollutants. These can hamper your growth, your human life. Very much bad impact is there. First is your cesium 137 CSM, half life is how much? 30.2 years. Where it is source, nuclear fission, Chernobyl, Fukushima. Strongly absorbed by clay minerals, low mobility. Strontium SR90, iodine I31, half life is also there. How much time? 28.8 years. This is 8.02 days. Nuclear weapon testing, it will be released. Nuclear reactors, short-lived concentration in thyroid. Mobile mimic Ca2 plus, bone seeker, bone cancer. Plutonium 235, 239, Pu239 is also a radioactive pollutant. How much is the half-life? 24,100 years. Nuclear weapons and reactor. Radium 226, uranium 238, 4.5 billion years. See, uranium 238 half-life is 4.5 billion years. You can imagine, it is very bad. Mining phosphate fertilizers, chemotoxic, radiotoxic and kidney damage. See, I have told you, Indian context. Jaduguda, uranium mine, Jharkhand, first uranium mine in India. Radiation contamination of surrounding soil is documented environmental issue. Thorium rich monazite sand, Kerala and Tamil Nadu coastal area. I have told you na, Jaduguda mines in Jharkhand, there you can see horrible conditions are there. Means persons are so much affected by that mines, because that mines pollutant will go directly in water, that mine pollutant will go directly in soil. Okay, can we move further? Okay. So we have completed our third chapter basically here. Now we are going to discuss about some your PYQs of different previous year questions have came, and then we will move further to next questions what I have prepared for you. Okay, read first question. What is the following is a primary anthropogenic source of soil pollution? He is asking about which of the following is a primary anthropogenic. I have told you na, anthropogenic means basically man-made. See, volcanic eruptions is non-man-made, it is natural. Weathering of rocks, it is basically natural. Natural erosion process, these are not related to soil pollution. So here two factors can be there, either volcanic eruption or industrial activity. But he is asking about anthropogenic, man-made, basically man-made. So it is your industrial activities. So which of the following is a primary anthropogenic source of soil pollution? It is your industrial activities. Moving to second question. This is also your PYQ for Andhra Pradesh State Pollution Control Board exam. Which of the following is not considered a type of soil pollution? In this, which of the following is not? Always remember, here I have written here not. Accumulation of heavy metal, this is considered. So this will be wrong answer. Excessive use of pesticide, yes, this is also considered. Chemical contamination of industrial waste, this is also a type of soil pollution. Natural weathering of rocks, always remember, natural weathering of rocks is not a soil pollution. Natural weathering of rocks basically used in formation of soil, means, sorry, natural weathering of rocks is basically is used in formation of soil. Okay, so answer will be your D. Moving on to next question. Excessive use of nitrogenous fertilizer primarily leads to, see what he has asked you, always read. Nitrogenous, we will go to our sources. In there we have written nitrogenous urea, DAP. What it will do? It will do soil acidification. It can leach into groundwater. So soil acidification means it will make the soil more acidic and it will reduce the pH. So answer I can see here, it will be your soil acidification. So excessive use of nitrogenous fertilizer primarily leads to soil acidification. Can we move further? Okay. This is one of the very good question. Try to solve yourself. Otherwise I will solve here. Try to solve yourself first. Try to solve yourself. See what he is asking. A very good question. A very good question. See what he is telling. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1 is fertilizer, list 2 is effect. I have told you na, urea which will be matched with nutrient nitrate leaching, because due to urea nitrate leaching can happen and it can go to groundwater. So urea will relate to nitrate. SSP, single superphosphate, CD toxicity, cadmium toxicity. Remember, phosphatic cadmium, so SSP, single superphosphate, cadmium. MOP, muriate of potash, what? Soil salinity, can we say? Okay sir. So sir, first is 2, second 3. So A will be your answer. So sir, A will be our answer. Moving further, fourth, over. Coming on to fifth question. Cadmium contamination is soil is associated with. Cadmium contamination, see, always remember cadmium is related with phosphatic. So cadmium is always related with phosphatic. So it is your phosphatic fertilizers. So always remember, nitrogenous means nitrate, potassic means chloride, organic fertilizers are not there. So phosphatic fertilizers. Which combination correctly matches fertilizer type with pollution effect? Here he is asking which of the combination correctly matches with fertilizer type with pollution effect. Nitrogenous cadmium, no man, this cannot be happen. Phosphatic nitrate, no. Potassic organic, yeah. Potassic organic, potassic chlorine induced salinity. So this is your right, this is also wrong. So which combination correctly matches fertilizer type with pollution effect? It is your nitrogenous cadmium accumulation, phosphatic nitrate, no, potassic chlorine induced salinity, because we have studied there. Moving further, which of the following heavy metal is primarily responsible for eta? I have told you na about eta. Remember eta what? Sir, lead, neurotoxic, mercury, minimata. Eta is your cadmium. Eta is your cadmium. Moving further, which pesticide has lowest persistent? Remember, I have told you about highest also, very highest, moderate, low. Low carbamates, carbaryl. Remember carbamates, there was an example of carbamyl. Okay. Moving further, which of the following is not a characteristics of organochlorines? Remember what we can answer here. Which of the following is not a characteristics of organochlorines? If you will remember organochlorines, which of the following? Rapid degradation is not possible. Its lipid solubility is there, highly persistent bioaccumulation is there, but rapid degradation is not. It will be, remember, it will be their residence time is very much, means in your atmosphere rapidly it will be not degraded. So which pesticide group is most likely to biomagnify in food chain? We can answer here. I have also told you bioaccumulation of one of the pesticide group, that is your organochlorines. We can answer here as organochlorines. Because bioaccumulation we have studied there. So they have asked you which pesticide group is most likely to biomagnify in food chain? Organochlorines. Moving further, which pollutant category include E. coli and salmonella? Which pollutant category? It is your biological. Biological pollutant category include E. coli and salmonella. Moving further, lead toxicity mainly affects what is the effect of lead toxicity? Lead toxicity effect is your nervous system. It will always impact your nervous system and mostly in small childs. Moving further, heavy metals are defined. See, I have told you now, heavy metals are defined as elements have density greater than 5 gram per centimeter cube. Means heavy metals will be defined when density will be greater than 5 gram per centimeter cube. I have told you, always remember, this is a very important question. What is your 14? Which of the following is correctly matched? pH, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon, inorganic, not. PCBs are biological, not. Nitrate, inorganic, because yes, nitrate is basically inorganic pollutants. Nitrate is basically inorganic. BTEX is also not biological because pH and PBCs are organic, PCBs are organic. Moving further, which fertilizer is a major source of ammonium ions? I have told you urea and DAPs. Urea and DAPs are the major source of ammonium ions. So answer will be your urea, not SSP, not MOP and not TSP. Cadmium contamination from phosphatic fertilizer is mainly due to, there one line was written, rock phosphate impurities. So cadmium contamination will be mainly due to what? Rock phosphate impurities. Moving on to our last question, I hope this is your last question. Excessive chloride accumulation in soil leads to, if chloride accumulation in soil will happen, it will be always lead to soil salinization. It will always lead to what? Soil salinization. If there will be excessive amount of chloride, it will always lead to soil salinization. I hope this is your last question in this session. So I have tried to cover all the topics. I have tried to touch all the topics which can be asked from here. In further lectures, I will cover the more topics with you all. So all the students who are preparing for Andhra Pradesh State Pollution Control Board, I hope you have studied much more content from this video. So once like this video and share with your many other friends. If you want PDF, you can comment in the comment section for PDF. I will try to provide you there. So in more lectures, I will come with more like this kinds of PDF and more like this kinds of content for you all. So thank you everyone. We will meet in further more lectures. So thank you.